Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Clueless Capitalist, where we discover interesting startups, interview founders, and help you become less clueless with angel investing. My name is Razi.
And I'm Osman. Welcome to The Clueless Capitalists.
In this episode, we are speaking to Palki Motors. Palki Motors is the first electric vehicle manufacturing company in Bangladesh, and we have the founder and CEO of Palki Motors, Mustafa. Welcome to the episode, Mustafa.
Hi, thank you, Raji, and thank you, Osman, for inviting me to this wonderful event. I'm really looking forward to share our story.
All right, cool. Well, the first time I spoke to you, Mustafa, was actually quite a long time ago. It must have been over 2.5 years ago now, when you first messaged me on LinkedIn and told me about what you were building at Palki Motors. But the reality of what you were doing and what you were building only became clear when I saw you at the Startup Bangladesh Summit 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? It must have been 2 years ago. Yeah. And that for me was like really real. We were actually saw your vehicles on showcase, and it was really valuable. From that initial conversation, you're now part of cohort 10 at Accelerating Asia, and congratulations on getting through.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think Razi, before we were kicking off this call, I think Razi was just saying, tell us more about your origin story, and then maybe we can go through your pitch deck as well for a few minutes.
The idea came to my mind in 2009 when I was an electrical engineering student and I was studying electrical motor. So there was some cars beside roads, and I was watching some mechanics rebuilding the motor, and I thought hey, if I can have a motor with high enough torque and I put it into a car, that could be an electric. So that was the first time that the idea came into my mind, and it was in 2009. Nobody knew about Tesla or electric cars. So I feel that this is one of my original idea that came to my subconscious mind. And then I built a solar electric car in 2013. So when I was in US doing my undergrad at electrical engineering, so it was I got 50% scholarship, but the rest of the money I had to make it by myself. So what I did is that I bought used car at $600-800, and there was few parts was not working there, so I ordered on eBay, getting really cheap price for parts. So instead, because car parts is not expensive, but putting it into the car is really expensive. So I used to put it myself and sold the car $1,200 and $1,500. That made me some extra cash from flipping the cars. That was the experience. And so I came back to Bangladesh after completing my graduation and doing 1 year of job at Wall Street New Year. And after coming back here, I work on my family company. It's a solar renewable energy company. So I designed on more than 123 power plants in Bangladesh. And back on my mind, I wanted to start this company. But I talked to my family, and they said, hey, making cars is a pretty big thing, and you don't have money, you don't have factories, and you don't have anything you can make a car. So I thought, okay, so I don't know anything about startup and how does it work. So I did not start on that time. It's a little bit long journey. So in 2022, my first startup failed in 2021, and that time is because of COVID. I lost lots of customers and I couldn't pay rents and employee salary, so it was kind of devastating. So I joined a job at Silicon Valley company as a product manager, and on that time I worked there for a year, and I figured out every month I'm getting lots of money, bank is overflowed with it's money, cash every month. I was financially I was happy, but inside I was thinking maybe I don't want to just see the window, I want to see the 360 degree of the world. So I was not feeling myself, so I quit the job, and I was wondering that why I'm alive and what should be my purpose in life. So that time I joined a meditation course, and it's kind of became spiritual. Sorry. So that time I figured out the teacher was saying that your objective to be alive is to serve the people with your brain. So and then I got this idea. Coincidentally, that time I was reading a book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and this book changed my life. So every time I had the motivation very high and low, and after reading this book, I figured out it's that if I want to have a burning desire, then I have to have a faith And to have a faith, I will need a constant visualization of what I want to do. So that time, this book give me an assignment that hey, you have to write all of your craziest dream that you want to achieve in this life. And the next chapter was how much money do you need to make this amount of money? And in the third chapter, it said hey, I want to make this money by this time, and I want to sacrifice this thing to achieve this. So I read the dream, and then I had lots of ideas on that time. So I evaluated each and every ideas based on Y Combinator data and my personal experience, like popularity, market growth, how hard it is to build. Because the harder it is to build, and if you can build it once, you can do the monopoly. So something like that. And Palki got the highest score. So I said, okay, so that's the thing I'm doing. Either I'm doing it or I die doing it. That's the only option. So on that time, I had some other income option. I closed everything. So and this book says burn all your bridges and make retreat impossible. So I burned all of my bridges, and this is the only option that I have, and I can feel it. So it became easier to be focused on what I'm building. And the starting was not that easy. I started this company with only $4,000 in my pocket, and rest of the journey was just miracle. People helped us, and I still believe that our customer are our angel investor. So for them, we're here at this point.
I was just making notes. I mean, that's such an amazing story. I wanted to hear more about the solar car. I mean, I want to hear more about it, what it takes to actually decide that you want to build up this electric vehicle company and have the audacity to go about doing it. But before we ask all of those, let's run through your pitch deck, and then we'll ask all those questions after.
Hi everyone, I'm Mustafa. I'm an electrical engineer, graduated from Montana State University. We're the first electric car manufacturing company in Bangladesh. We have delivered 24 vehicles, generated more than $250,000 in revenue. Our vehicle have driven more than 1.4 million of kilometers, reducing more than 250 tons of carbon dioxide. We make two types of vehicles. One is the commercial passenger car for ride-sharing drivers. Another is the electric pickup truck for the company's last mile delivery. The manufacturing process for the both car is same. That's how our CapEx is very low, and it is designed to be affordable. Our customer loves our car. It is because while the fossil fuel cars takes 15 cents per kilometer to drive and 50 cents per kilometer, and our one only costs 1 cent per kilometer. That is 90% savings on the fuel. With fewer moving parts, the maintenance cost is 50% lower. Since our car is locally made, the ownership cost is 52% lower. We also offer credit facilities to our customer, and our vehicle control unit ensures that customer pays it on time. The market is enormous, with $3.1 billion market size for electric vehicles. Each year, 11,000 light pickups and 50,000 commercial passenger cars sold in Bangladesh. Our government has a plan to convert at least 50% of those vehicles to electric by 2030. And only 60 people today out of 1,000 has access to cars, while in our neighboring Indian market, 287 people use this car, and their market is growing at 335% each year. Our customer since our customer makes money using our product, so this is very important that we open them to experience those cars for the test drive. Right now, we have a partnership with 67 showrooms. We already have 31 pre-orders, and to produce 10 units per month, we are looking to raise $450,000. We have already got commitment for $200,000, and we are raising rest $250,000 by December 2024. And our aim is to produce 15,000 vehicles by 2028. And we are taking a lean step-by-step approach. So first, we are building 10 units per month, then going to 15 units per month, and then gradually, with added automation, we want to produce up to 700 units per month. Thank you so much for your time, and we invite you to join the revolution for the transportation sector. Bangladesh.
Yeah, no, that was a good pitch. I think that's fine. I mean, just before you were about to do the pitch, I think Razi wanted to learn a little bit more about the challenges that you had in terms of setting up a manufacturing company like this from scratch and having the audacity to do that. So,
as I said before, it's about the mindset, I think. So I have pretty much programmed my mind that my burning desire. I mean, I'm talking about in the same way that in the Think and Grow Rich book says. So I used to visualize that all the cars and three-wheelers CNG auto rickshaw that you see in India, like Bajaj auto rickshaw. So I used to visualize all those cars are like as like Palki cars. So I could see like Palki cars are running in the street instead of those cars. So early days was really hard because like people would like say me crazy. I got to like block lots of people. So what I did is that I went to people, I talked to them about this idea, I shared the idea, and like they said that why I cannot be successful in doing it. So instead of being like demoralized, I took notes of all the. So for example, the first one was that for my family it came like, hey, you need money to make the product, right? Where are you gonna make the money? And then the second one is that you need factory to build at least like 10 units per month. You need like land, you need like employees, you need like so lots of things. So I took all the notes and I attacked one by one. Okay, so first I have to solve this, then I have to solve it, then I have to. So my like personal experience was that if I can cross out all the things that would make me fail in this project, then I can be successful. So like first, I had like $4,000. I ordered the parts and built the first car by my hand. So like, and also like my experience from the previous startup helped me. For example, in my first startup, I built an app where people can make money from the mobile. But like the market was like so niche, is that I could not earn like enough money. But like for like car manufacturers, say if I take one pre-order, it's like 2,000, 50,000, 250, so 200, $2,500 for like one pre-orders. Okay. And this one pre-order couldn't like pay my rent, factory rent, one or like 5-6 employees. So like there's like, hey, just build a fast car and start getting pre-orders. So that was my first motivation, because like in the last startup, I built so much tech, and when I come to market, I see like no market. No one is buying. So like this time I said like, look, I'm not going to invest like so much in R&D, but like first we have to make sure that we're getting sales. So we got sales. We got like 16 pre-orders showing our MVPs. Then we moved to like bigger space to like scale those cars at production. So that's the thing. And what I did is that it's a large plan. We have to produce like 50,000 units by 2028. This is a huge thing. But like if I make it like very small plan and we succeed in each step, then I think like the journey would be like easier. So I took that.
For me, when I think about building out automotive, I think about highly automated production lines and all this kind of stuff. And I remember when you showed me your production line, I mean, it's a little bit more rustic. It's probably the way to explain it, but I can see the potential for this to grow, and especially with the domestic demand. Just walk me through some of the government considerations, because obviously when people are buying cars now, they're importing them into Bangladesh. How much of your production is domestic? How much are you importing in? Because I recall that there was some kind of statistics that you were looking at in terms of how much of your sourcing is done domestically and how much is brought in from abroad.
So right now is 46% is imported and 53% are like locally purchased. And since the government has a like barrier, so if you want to import an electric car, you have to pay 89% custom duty. But like for us, we can get a tax holiday for 10 years to like up to 20% of custom duty for the parts. So that allows us to make the car really affordable. So for example, if the same category, same capacity cars comes from other country, that would be at least $3,000 or more expensive than ours. So that gives us an edge. And another thing is that after sales service, for example, just like we have partnered with all the local stores. I mean, for example, we are delivering a car to a remote place in Bangladesh. We are partnering with the mechanic shops over there. We're training them, and also we are making the customer feel that, hey, you're a part of our family. You don't have to call us for the after sales service, but like we ensure that every 3 months you get the checkup and your car is still running. So what do we do? We track all the data, like how many kilometers they are running, how much charge they have. So we track all this data, and we advise people that, hey, this is how you have to charge, you have to drive, then you can make like more money using our car. So it's kind of like we do like advisory. Maybe this is not scalable, but like it helps us to sell more cars because they recommend their colleagues to buy this car. So our approach is that it's like when customer was giving pre-orders. So I was thinking that, damn, we don't have I mean, we started with like only 400 square feet like shop. We had nothing. Like customers saw us and like they were like giving pre-orders. They were like giving us money. And I was like, damn, why the people are giving us money? So in that time I was reading a book right now. It's like start with why. And I kind of like did root cause analysis. So like we figure out is the emotion that they want to see that someone from Bangladesh is trying to make a car. They want to help us. And when they talk with us, they feel like, this guy and this team will always be with us to help us for the lifetime. So that's the tourism that we found. So we doubled down on that. And we really focused on making the cars in Bangladesh. And then we really focused on having such a good after-sales service so that they feel us as a family.
I mean, this is really good. Because, I mean, when we were doing like macroeconomics and microeconomics at university, we always talked about the externalities of businesses and what the outcome is. Here, the externalities are that you're not just like creating something and you're importing everything, and you're actually building out other industries and supporting other industries to help you build that car, which actually adds additional value within the Bangladesh economy. And if I was to give an example, look at Toyota. I mean, when I was a student, I did my internship with a manufacturer that made headlamps for cars. And the reason why that factory was where it was because Toyota had a factory 45 minutes drive away. And Toyota, by default, would say we will only source goods within 45 minutes of our factory so that we can do just-in-time ordering. There is a reason why they're not creating factories in certain countries, because the other industries aren't there, right? So by you doing this, suddenly people start to look at, well, if I need to reduce my cost for manufacturing, if I need to do X, Y, Z, are there other supporting industries? A bit like how Apple, when they go and manufacture in China, it's not because it's cheap, but it's because everything that they need is within China. Like if you need a screw of a particular size, they know where to go to get it, right? And they can do that. So this is the kind of hard work that's being done now to make the Bangladesh economy more favorable for other investment, other manufacturing investment into the country. So it's a good, interesting case study. And from an academic standpoint, I quite like seeing these kind of things pan out and work out that way.
Yeah, thank you so much for the idea. Just like what we're doing is that we're manufacturing the chassis and the body one, right? Because this is the heaviest part, and if we want to import, the import might be import duty to like say 100% if I want to import the body and chassis. So and then we started to manufacture the seats of that, because these are the heaviest part. And gradually what we're doing is that, say we gave the task to a local workshop, so they have the 3D laser cutting machine and bending machine. All of the things we need is like, it's really near to us, because we choose this location for like one reason, is that it's really cheaper here, and all the furniture factory around us, no car assembler or like car dealers are here, because it's like when I was little, I mean when our company was like in a very early stage, I did not want to hear from them like, hey, you cannot do that. No, they would like demotivated me. They would just kill me, like giving suggestions. So that's why I moved like really far away from them. And also this like ecosystem helps us to get all the parts that we need to like build a production manual.
Why vehicles and not two-wheelers?
That's a very good question. It's like two-wheeler is easier to make, and it's like bigger company. This is something they can actually invest on it, and like within 6 months they can go to production. But like four-wheelers, they need at least 2 years to start producing the car, because you have to design the car, you have to design lots of dies, you have to set up the factory, and like you have to invest at least $50 million to get to this. But like we have this advantage is that we can start lean. We can sell like 10 units per month, and then we can be like profitable at any point. Because like I didn't know that I'm gonna get investment with this crazy idea. It's like the people gonna shut me off like every time. So I always wanted to be in a point that we're like sustainable, and we can run it for like 10 years, 15 years. So that was the motivation. But like not two-wheeler, because it was like for two-wheelers they can easily like overpass us. And personally, I think like it's easier to make two-wheelers.
Maybe you could tell me, like in terms of the 24 cars that are on the road, right? Who are these customers? These 24 customers? Like what are they? Are they entrepreneurs? Are they like who are they?
45% customers of us are ride sharing drivers. So they use the car to make money. So every day they can make 30 to $40 each day, and they run for like 120 to like 130 kilometers a day. They make this amount of money, and like this amount of money is a lot in terms of Bangladesh. It's like with like $300 they can pay their rent, skits, and like everything. So one is the interesting story. We sold a car to one of our early customers, and 2 days back he came to me and like he called me, and then he said, "Hey, the car you sent, it cost me 10,000 taka like in 2 days." I said, "Damn, like what could go wrong? I mean, everything was like tested. We did the proper QC and QA, everything was good." So he was saying that, "Look, I used to drive 3-wheeler car, and now I drive a 4-wheeler car. So it increased my prestige and it increased my social status. So every time I go to a shop and like my colleagues see me and like they say, like, hey, now we drive a 4-wheeler car, so give, like offer us some teas and like snacks and all those stuff." So I said like, okay, damn, this is a really good story to like hear.
What is the range of the car on one charge?
One charge we keep it to 150 kilometers because we did the research that like the 3-wheeler Bajaj driver, like Bajaj 3-wheeler drivers, they drive 123 kilometers, 123 kilometers in all day to make $30 to $40. So we make it to like 150 so that we can keep the car price low because battery price is more than 30%. So we can keep the car price low and help them to get their job done.
Just from a unit economics perspective, how much does it cost to make the vehicle? What type of like margins are you making per vehicle that's shipped? And I mean, are you on the path to being profitable or break even?
So our cost of for the passenger car, it is $8,500 to make the car, and we are selling it to like $9,500 that car. And for the pickup, the manufacturing cost is $8,900, and we are selling it $12,400. So average is 25% gross profit margin, and so like the COGS has everything like our factory rent, overhead costing, including everything. So that is the gross profit margin. And right now, if we can sell 6 cars, then we are cash flow. We're in the break even. So what we do is that because like we are getting lots of pre-order after releasing version 3 of the car, and we are like after joining F13 Asia, we're just taking pre-orders. So these pre-orders helps us to become like cash flow positive, and also it's numbers that we can show to raise our next round that we're starting from January 2025.
Yeah, and I think when Razi was in Bangladesh, he actually saw, you didn't see the Palki Motors, but you did see the other electric vehicles, which was one of our portfolio companies. How do you compare with the ones which are imported from China? They're kind of like converted 2-wheelers. How does that compare with what you've got, which is a pickup truck? Can you give us a bit of an idea of how you go about defending against that type of competition?
Yeah. So, for example, our computer would be Tata EX2 EV 1000. So that one is sold in India at 11.4 thousand rupees. That would be 16.55 lakhs. So 11.4 lakhs rupees in India. So that would be 16.4 lakhs rupees in Bangladesh. Now they have to pay 89% or at least 35% custom duty. That would make the car to like with the profit margin, they would sell the car at almost 21 lakhs taka in Bangladesh. Now with the same capacity, same loading capacity, same strength, and pretty much we use the spare parts that are locally available. So everything is local. Customer don't have to worry about spare, and the power, the speed, everything is similar. They are getting it like almost 5,000 taka cheaper. So that is one point. And interesting thing is that so for the pickup one, like customer don't pay. I mean, they just pay like say like $2,500 like upfront, and all rest of the payment comes from the banks. So banks pays the rest of the money, and those cars is very hard to like trace. Like we have built the system so that banks can instantly turn off the car. I mean, it's like they to collect the payment. So we are also partnering with a software company in Bangladesh, so that the driver have to pay monthly or like weekly in order to make the vehicle run. So we have this option to make it customizable. So it is easier for banks, cheaper to own the car for the customer, and as well as I mean, you could say about the brand value and the durability. That is a fair point. But now at this point, we want to it's like we don't have to sell thousands of units at this moment, but like gradually we prove that hey, this is the car similar to them but like a little bit cheaper, so you can go for it, and it will come gradually from the word of mouth.
I like the name that they have for the EX2, Tata EX2. It's called Chota Hathi.
Chota Hathi, yeah.
Small elephant.
And also we're like planning to have a marketing is that we're gonna pick a Chota Hathi, like a small elephant, on our pickup to like to shout off the customer that it cannot take the load, because they don't believe that electric cars can like take this amount of load. So it's like we're planning to do that, and we tested our cars with like 3 tons of load. Like what we're doing is like, if someone wants to buy this pickup, so we do is like we do free deliveries. Like, hey, this is what your business you deliver every day. Now give the same amount of load that you used to give to your pickup. So we do that, and we like every day we're giving them delivery. So we sold like 7 pickups last week. So it's great. Right?
I mean, this is an interesting point, because one thing I learned from the other portfolio company in Accelerating Asia from a previous cohort, Orco, they're doing mapping of electric vehicle fleets, and the challenge they were trying to solve was the vehicle range for electric vehicles changes dramatically depending on the load that you have. So if it's fully loaded, then the range goes down, and as during the day as the load gets lighter, the range extends. And how do you manage that? And so on that, in that same kind of thinking, when your vehicle is fully loaded, what is the range that you can realistically achieve?
So we are in our standard. We tested the car with 700 kg load, and with 700 kg load and 15 kilowatt battery, it goes 100 kilometers per range. Per charge. So we also did one option is that our pickup has a battery swappable option. So it's like if a customer wants to buy like 10 cars for the e-commerce delivery, then they can have the battery swapping station. They can like charge it. So our standard, and we also put a like load sensor on the axle of the car, so that if there's like overload, we notify the customer that hey, this is how much you overloaded, and this would reduce the mileage to this point. So they know, they can overload. The car is okay for like up to 3 tons, but like they know that the speed would reduce, range would reduce. And in Bangladesh, this is common practice. If you say, because like Tata X2 is 700 kg car, and Tata X2 EV is 600 kg car. It's 1000 kg. But the thing is like, it's like people will always put like 1.5 tons. This is a common trend. So we build it with like 3 ton capacity, so that we also notifying them, hey, if you continuously take this order, your warranty might be void. So because like otherwise they constantly take like 3 tons of load. The motor would not survive the amount that we tested. The battery would not last for like 10 years. It would reduce. So we have to keep the data so that we can set.
You come with a 10-year warranty on your vehicle, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
That's also quite interesting, quite unique as well for what you're doing. When you compare yourself to the Chinese imports as well, what type of load and range are these guys looking at for their equivalent vehicles?
The Chinese vehicle are pretty like cheap quality car. Their like way of manufacturing and like strength is not that much. So in Bangladesh, it is very hard to sell Chinese car, because there's like some Chinese car like Jack and all those brands. They cannot sell well because of their loading capacity. So it has a bad reputation. So in this price range, the competitors will come just push you, because every year 11,000 light vehicles are sold. Say by 2030, 50% of the vehicle will be. So there would be almost like 5,500 cars would sold like every year. That is for sure. We have to make sure that our car stays on top of the quality and in customer mind. So computers will come, but Chinese cars, it's like if they start producing cars like locally here right now, but I believe that in like 1 or 2 years, no one will start manufacturing cars in Bangladesh. This is because the market is not ready, the infrastructure is not ready, and the solution that we provide is that we don't need infrastructure to sell the cars. Our chargers are like built in. We have battery swapping for the pickups, and in 2 years we will be ready to match them. They want to install 1000 charging station, we can also install 1000 charging station, so that and we have our own vehicle, we can just customize this charging station to only charge our vehicle. So kind of creating some kind of monopoly. So we have the leverage to making it a competition, whereas I believe they will be at least 2 years behind. That's the only backup that I got. But if you say that they are going to invest say $100 million today, they cannot start producing the car from tomorrow. They will need 2 years to start producing the car.
Some brand and marketing related questions. What does the name Palki stand for? What does it mean?
When I started this company, I wanted to make a name that would represent. So we have two types of vehicle that is originally made in our Indian subcontinent. One is Ratha and another is Palki. So this is our vehicle. It's made by us and made by these people. So I wanted to have this name go spread the word. So if you see the Palki logo, this is Bengali alphabet over there. It's Po in Bengali. And it's there's two types of vehicles, Ratha and Palki. But in Ratha, we pronounce in Bengali it's Roth. So there's two types of pronunciation going on. But in Palki, it's similar Palki in everywhere, in every language. It means that this is the vehicle made by us, and this is easier to pronounce. So that's why the name is Palki.
I think whenever it comes to vehicles made domestically, and it's a local brand, there's a lot of national pride to it. Like Osman was mentioning about Proton and how there's a lot of pride that it's Malaysia's homegrown and homemade car, and when you drive it, you feel proud. That you're driving something that is made at home and it represents the country. So when it comes to the marketing for Palki, what are you doing to try and generate more awareness, try and generate more interest in what you guys are doing?
So we have been fortunate. So what happened is that when I started writing about this Palki 2 years ago, and one of my posts really got viral. 63,000 people saw it. Then one of the journalists from a prominent newspaper, he said hey, this is really interesting idea. I'm gonna publish it to our newspaper. I said no, don't publish it. We don't have the cars ready. We don't have the parts yet. It's don't publish it. But eventually he published. And after his publishing, lots of TV channels came to make the news. It kind of went viral in our country, and people started to have a 50% negative comment, 50% positive comments, or something like that. But it went up. So we did not have to have any marketing money to spread it. And another thing happened. So one of the largest telecom company in Bangladesh, Robi. So one day one of the guy came to us. And he said, hey, we want to make an ad for our company, sharing your story that this is how you made a car, and it goes with the brand that you ignite by your power or your energy, something like that. So made a story, and they made an ad on how we started this company, how we built the car. They also bought 3 cars, to inspire us. So it's I said, why not? So that money was really helpful for us on that moment. It went national. They published nationwide on all the metro station, railway station, bus station was they were publishing this car. So pretty much every people in this country knows that we have a car brand in the country.
That's amazing. That's really good stories. Later on, please share the link with me about that Robi ad featuring Palki Motors. Yeah. And I guess you yourself drive one of your cars.
One of the actors acted on my part, but at the end of the ad, they showed me that I'm getting an award, something.
I was just looking at the deck again, and I was seeing there's something about modularity, modular architecture. Can you just explain a little bit about that?
We actually built only just one car. We designed just one car. It's because we don't have so much money to do. So we kept the design same. So and then say the front part of the body for the pickup and the passenger is similar, and the back part is just having seats for the passenger to sit, and for the pickup it's just to carry the goods. So that's why in our manufacturing process we the way we do is that first we design the chassis and the body, then we go to the 3D laser cutting and the bending machine. every month do the bending and cutting for 10 units at once. So after they do the bending and cutting, we store all the parts to our factory, and then we have 4 teams. So one team makes the side panel, another team makes the doors, and the rest of the parts like the floor, a firewall, a floor, it comes automatically from the top. So after they make the parts like body parts, then we store it again. And when they keep continuously they are making it, and then we have the welding team who take the chassis and the body parts and weld it together, and then we send it to like the denting team. So like if there's like some denting, they polish the car and like make it like ready for the painting section. So after the painting section is done, we send the car to like in the drivetrain section. Say put together the drivetrain. Then it goes to the electrical section. After that, it goes to the decoration, and finally it goes to testing. So after we pass the testing, then we send it to our customer. So that's how we do. Like we don't keep like storage right now. It's only like 10 units per month. So we have to keep the storage. As soon as delivered, we send it.
I have another clueless question. So do all the cars come with AC, like air conditioning, and does it have a built-in radio as well?
It has it's like Android Play.
Oh, nice.
And it has the air conditioning.
Yeah, I was just looking online because the last time I saw something about Bangladesh and automotive, there was a guy called Lipu.
Yeah.
If you know him. Yeah. I mean, this guy was amazing, right? So I don't know. Have you spoken to him and got advice from him on how to?
I talked with him like 1.5 years ago. So it's like he's a really great guy, and like he can really makes like pretty good modifications on a car. Only thing is that it's like you need scalability, not just a beautiful car. That's the thing. It's like for scalability, we need to find the niche people, because like making cars for like drivers, or making cars for like companies last mile delivery is not sexy. It's not that it's like a proud thing to do. Our customer cares about the speed, the brake, the air condition, and the overall comfort in the car and the safety of the car. So we just have to ensure that. But like in terms of design, I talked with him, but like hey, it's like we had lots to do in our plate in that time before thinking about the design. But so we're planning to have version 4. Like after the version 3 is done, so it will be a little bit more beautiful, and we're going to take help from him. And we also have really well wisher in Italy who wants to help us to make the car really awesome in the future version. So yeah, we're going to do that.
I only brought it up because that for me, I remember watching this a while back, and I don't know, Razi, if you've heard of Lipu, but I mean, this guy, there was a TV series in the UK, it was called Chop Shop, and there was like this English guy, and then there was Lipu, and Lipu was just like, I'm going to buy this real banger and I'm going to turn it into a Ferrari. and the output was amazing. Obviously, you can't scale that. I just thought maybe this was inspired by Lipu. The guy was just a genius when it came to like creating works of art on a wheel.
One thing I want to mention is that it's like people don't know about this. Bangladesh have really ingenious craftsmanship for like car body, and we have lots of mechanical engineers who are very good at SolidWorks and like CATIA software. It's like my job, it seems like a very difficult job, and it is very difficult job to make a car company. But the thing is that sometimes it feels like my only job was to like bring those people just under one roof and give them the opportunity so that they can build a car. So for example, my head of design, this guy is like super crazy about cars. He knows way more than me about the car. My job is to just keep things online. It's like he is like the real genius person. Okay, like building. Like my technicians, they are only like 28 years old, but they have more than 15 years of experience in building the car. So these guys are also like like genius. Like Lipu Aulia bhai. So his team has only like 13 to like 14 members, but like these guys are like truly genius. So like making the conversion of this car, they can make any types.
I was just googling him. He has a Wikipedia page. Very interesting guy. I'm gonna go check out the video that you guys are talking about.
No, you've got to see some of those episodes. He'll take like a second-hand Toyota Corolla, and he would then suddenly turn it into a something that looks like a Ferrari, and then he's driving it around Bangladesh.
Yeah.
It looks amazing.
And we are like planning to have him as a advisor. So we offered him a few months ago. So he agreed to talk with us. So he was in the US long time. So he'll be coming back, I guess, next month.
Thank you, Mustafa, for sharing about Palki Motors. Really exciting about the work that you're doing in Bangladesh, and we're looking forward to you building the very successful EV company, and having it known that you were on our episode, and we look forward to seeing 5 years down the road what amazing things that you will achieve. And for those of you who've been watching, please remember to download the episode, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and if you want to support Palki's journey, we'll put all of the details from Mustafa in the description. Thank you, everyone.